Hey guys, welcome to the Cult of Dusty. I'm Dusty Smith. You know, growing up, I was Mr. Anti-Marijuana. I was as big of an anti-weed activist as you could possibly get. Even from the time I was a kid, I would rant and rave and tell people the evils of marijuana. And pretty much everybody I knew smoked marijuana, except for my mom. My father smoked marijuana, all my brothers and sisters smoked marijuana, and I would just constantly rail on them over and over again about what losers they were, and how if you smoke weed, you'll be nothing but a loser your entire life, and you'll never do anything with your life, and you'll never be happy. And I went on and on and on, because I bought into the propaganda about marijuana hook, line, and sinker. Exactly the same way I bought into the propaganda about Christianity hook, line, and sinker. Because, you know, I've been told my entire life from the time I was born that Christianity was true by everybody that I knew, loved, and trusted. They all told me it was true. And why would they lie to me if it wasn't true? So I believed it. And I believed a lot of the hype about marijuana for exactly the same reason. Because the propaganda the government put out and the propaganda that the churches put out, and from the beer industry and from the tobacco industry and from the paper industry and all the industries that really do not want marijuana to be legal. I even bought into that bullshit line about how when you buy weed, you're supporting terrorism. You know, so fucking ridiculous. But, you know, I bought into that too. And it wasn't until after I started realizing that Christianity wasn't true that I said to myself, you know, hey, if I was so lied to about Christianity for so many years, what else do they lie to me about? And I began to research marijuana for myself, and I found that it has never killed anybody ever. It is used by some of the most famous people throughout history, some of the greatest scientists ever known. Practically every piece of decent music ever written was written by somebody who was stoned. Weed has just given so much to our society, and the more I researched it, the more I realized that this was true. So I decided after months and months of research that I would try marijuana for the first time, and I was 32 years old at the time. And let me tell you, it changed my fucking life. It was like I had been incomplete my entire life, and weed completed me. It filled a hole that was in my brain. Before weed, I was not a very good person. And I can see that now. I can see what a terrible, horrible human being I was. And I can give you a really good example of what a terrible person I was. I remember when the Iraq War started, the very first bombing. They had it live on Fox News as soon as those first bombs dropped. And I remember sitting there watching on the edge of my seat, giddy as a schoolboy. And those bombs started dropping, and I was all excited. It was like a huge fireworks display just for me, man. It was awesome. And it really didn't click in my head that each one of those bombs that was blowing up was killing people. I was watching right before my eyes people getting murdered. You know, fathers and sons and family members. People who have family who love them would mourn their deaths. I was sitting there watching it, giddy. I was happy they were dropping bombs on these people. What a disgusting fucking human being. That's all I can say about myself. But nobody thinks they're the bad guys. Nobody does. And at the time, I didn't think I was the bad guy either. I thought, hey, here's some fucking ragheads that deserve exactly what they're getting. After all, they're just Muslims. It's not like they're Christians. They're nobodies. They're subhumans. Kill them all and let God sort them out. And it's really fascinating for me to look back at the person I used to be and think that I did not see it at all that way then. It took weed to show me exactly what I am. It opened up my mind to reality. So I just want to say publicly, once and for all, to everybody out there who I made fun of for smoking weed, for everybody out there who I thought ill of you behind your back, for every one of you I called you a loser, I want to say, I'm sorry. I was totally 100% wrong about weed, and you were totally 100% right. Weed is fucking awesome. For the CultOfDusty.com, I'm Dusty Smith, and until next time, stay logical, America.